Right, so then, another month down, and yeah, I hope you liked April's Martin's movements. Hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I sort of enjoyed putting it together. Really enjoyed those last couple of weeks on obviously a new venture for me, somewhere that I've not fished for in the last 10-12 years at least. So you join me back down the original lake that I started on for the April's version. Back down on Wickwater, which is now called Franklin's, on the South Cerney ticket. And yeah, it's Monday afternoon after work, just about 5 o'clock now. Just been having a chat with David, another Swindon angler, and he's just been down for the day really. It's turned out to be a relatively nice day, although this wind is rather choppy. It's a little bit deceiving just how bright and sunny it is when you're on the back of that wind, to be fair. So just going to have a real quick lap. So like I say, it is, believe it or not, quite choppy out there, and that wind isn't the warmest. And I really, to be honest, got a feeling I don't really want to be on the end of it, because yeah, I just don't think the fish are going to be there. But it's not to say that I'm not going to see something on my travels. So gonna have a little look around, gonna do a lap. It's just coming up to 5 o'clock, so I'll see where everyone's dotted around. It's not that busy compared to when I come down here the first time. So yeah, I'll have a little look around, see what's happening, see what's about, and make my decision from there really. But my thinking is probably the first half of the lake rather than the second half. So so yeah, got the glasses, got my hat, keep all as much sunlight out my eyes as possible, see if we can go and see anything. And yeah, we'll make our decisions from there, I guess. But for now, I'm going to get a wiggle on, get myself around the lake, see what's what, and I will catch up with you in a little while, I guess, once I've made my decision. Right, so I've been looking for well over an hour, and I've not seen any sign of fish, if I'm completely honest. Done a lap of the lake, had a good look in the margins, sort of, watching the water as I'm going around, and I haven't seen a single sign of any fish location, giveaway, anything. But similar to a couple of weeks ago, obviously the car park bank is occupied. The bank that's in front of me occupied, and I kind of got this whole bank again to myself. And there is one guy just tucked up in the corner. Like I said, I've got the barrow loaded. I'm going to quickly get a rod out, which I've got already set up already, and just give it a few casts, just to feel like what the bottom's like out there, and get a rough gauge on how deep it might be. So yeah, it is brightening up. It seems to be quite a nice bright evening. That wind is settling down a little bit now, because it's kind of, in these swims here, it's kind of just swinging around into your face a little bit. But I've got the brolly, I can tuck myself right back up in there, keep out of the way, and yeah, see what happens. But I think for now, like I said, I've not seen anything, so who knows. I can only go by a gut instinct and a gut feeling. And like I say, that bank is kind of, every couple of swims there are anglers and stuff on there, as much as I'd like to get on that side. Right, so finally I managed to find something that I'm happy with. Obviously I'm only here for an overnighter. If I'm not happy that the spots are clean, the rods are going out, with a nice firm drop, and I might as well just be led at home in bed, to be quite honest, because I want to know that they're fishing 100% or as close to as possible. So I've had a good real lead around. It seemed to feel like an eternity, but like I say, if I'm not happy and I'm not 100% confident that them rods are going out, then I may as well not cast them out with a bait on it. So they're all sorted now. Very quickly, just going to go through what I'm going to use, and that is the hinge stiff rigs. Now I know I lost one on there a couple of weeks ago on the hinge stiffs, but I've had so many fish and I've got the utmost confidence in the presentation, in the hook holds, and you know, just a guaranteed confidence that you're fishing effectively over, you know, whatever it is on the bottom within reason. So I know that the spots are really clean, they're pulling back with a nice smooth drag back as well, so I'm guessing there's some nice, you know, maybe some gravel with a little bit of, you know, silt over the top, but there's no clogginess, or it's not coming back with anything around the lead, so I know that it is clean. So these will present nicely above any bottom debris. And I have put out 5 spombs of bait as well. I'm going to fish both rods on an area, which is something I didn't do last week. I just fished one on one and one on the other. So yeah, I'm going to fish 2 on one spot, and like I say, I've got 5 spombs of bait out already, so it's just a matter of getting these hinge stiffs out now. Triple M pop-ups, match the hatch pop-ups, which I had to bite on a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, that's my thinking. That's my plan of attack. There is a massive dark cloud, although this sun's shining in my face right now, just over that back of the horizon there is a big dark cloud on its way. So I'm going to quickly get these rods out, and yeah, fingers crossed something happens throughout the night. So I'm going to leave it there for now, get these rods sorted just whilst we got this bit of sunlight out and I don't get caught in this what looks like it could be a heavy downpour. And yeah, fingers crossed, like I say, something will happen through the night. So let's leave it there, and I'll catch up with you in a little while. Home set up for the night. Rods are out on the spots, and yeah, bait's over the top of them. Zig's been fed. I'm having a brew, and just over the far bank there, beautiful sunset. It's actually turned out to be a rather nice evening, considering the weather that I looked at the weekend. So it was meant to be really cold, which admittedly it isn't warm, but it's meant to be like raining hard and all sorts, to be honest. And I was a bit like, I don't know what to do, whether I was going to bother with it tonight, but I'm glad I did, because it's actually quite a pleasant evening. Like I say, that sunset just behind them trees warmed me up nicely earlier, just as I was sorting the rigs out and stuff like that. So yeah, 2 hinge stiffs gone out, 5 or 6 bombs of bait gone out, both on the same spot. Not seen or heard anything since I've been here, but yeah, let's hope that they ventured up this end, off the sort of back of the wind as such, with that sun just going over our head when it was setting there this evening. And yeah, let's hope that they may have ventured up here just to take in those last few rays. So gonna have to wait and see what happens through the rest of the night, I suppose, but as always, we'll have to be up early for work. So I'm just gonna have a couple of these, warm me through for the night, probably get my head down early, because like I say, got to be up early for work. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm rudely awoken through the hours of darkness by a one toner or two. So let's leave it there for now. Appreciate this gorgeous evening, and fingers crossed I'll catch up with you guys throughout the night. Good morning. So as you can see on my shoulder, set time again, pack up time, work time, and yeah, unfortunately blank time as well. Didn't have anything at all last night. Not a single beep, not a single bosh, not a single sign of a fish, as I was sort of like just sat on a bucket watching the sun go down over the horizon there. But yeah, not a single thing. So don't really know if obviously the real clear night just killed it off a bit. It did feel pretty nippy, if I'm honest, and I don't know if you can see, it's looking like it's going to be quite a nice day, obviously sun wise, warmth wise. But yeah, that didn't half drop off last night once that sun disappeared. But over my shoulder, as you can see, the rods are still out. It's about 6:15, so I'm milking it for every last minute, even though, to be honest, I've not actually seen anything, so I might just be clutching at straws this session. But they're the last thing to go away as always, so I'll have them in a minute, go and get the car loaded and get myself off to work. But yeah, who knows, don't know what I'm going to do tonight yet. I'm going to get to work, have a look at the weather, see what's happening, because I don't know obviously whether to drop on here or just back on down the road, and but that all depends really on the weather and kind of where I want to get back into again if possible. So so yeah, we'll leave it there. I'll catch up with you a little bit later on, let you know what I'm doing and stuff like that, and yeah, we'll go again and see if I can get my revenge. Right, so it's now what, 3 weeks since my last session. As you would have just seen from the previous little clip, I had a bit of a freeway shunt up in my old motor, meaning that I've not actually been able to get out on the bank the last, well, nearly 3 weeks now. So I'm back down on one of my club waters, where I had that hectic night back in late April, early April. And yeah, I've just like I say, it's my first session back in 3 weeks. Been and got all my gear sorted over the weekend, and it's now, like I say, Monday evening. So I've just come round this lake because it's the less popular lake. It's a little bit harder, but I've been round and I've already found fish up in the corner where I fished before. I've seen them passing over the shallows, passing in front of me. So we have got a storm going over top of us at the moment, so excuse me if you do hear any rumbles. That's a bit of a thunderstorm passing over just to clear the air a little bit. It has been quite humid today, quite sticky, and I think we've had some really hot temperatures, you know, 20 plus over the last week or so. So it's a given that we can't go a week or anything more without a thunderstorm in here over in Britain. You know, it's too much to ask, isn't it, really, than a torrential downpour at some point. So so yeah, that's on its way over. Like I say, I think I'm going to stick with this corner tonight. It'd be silly of me to go anywhere else. I've just seen, you know, a good 3 or 4 fish pass through this corner, and I know the spots really well. So I have got rods and stuff already set up in the back, rigged up and stuff like that. So it'll just be a case of making a couple of solid bags, waiting for the storm to pass over, and yeah, getting myself sorted for the night. It's only going to be around sort of like an hour, half an hour to an hour, but now I know where I am. I'm dropping in here for the night. There's no rush, I can take my time and just get everything sorted, really. Just going to be fishing out the back of the car. I've got the bed chair and the brolly anyway, just in case, you know, it does last a little bit longer than you know, the anticipated hour. But yeah, that's kind of brought you up to speed. I'll have a little chat to you later on throughout the evening, and yeah, we'll see if we can nick ourselves 1 or 2 fish out this evening. Similar sort of conditions, really warm. It's still around probably 18 to 20 degrees, 20 degrees I'd imagine, even with this sort of storm and, you know, this wind really picking up. So yeah, leave it there. Fingers crossed we manage to get something through the night. It'd be a nice welcome back. I mowed a little bit of carp karma, to be honest. So yeah, let's leave it there for now. Let's get a few bits and pieces sorted, and I'll catch up with you a little bit later on. Right, so it's just coming up to about 8:30, and I've resisted so far the urge of dropping these 2 solid bags out. I've been just trying to nick a fish, really, just off a single floater. Just been kind of pinging it out and just letting it kind of drift into me, really, with with a real gentle breeze. And there are fish getting about, but they've shown no interest in that single mixer. I don't want to, you know, go ploughing out loads of mixers and causing carnage in the swim, and because the bird life, like I say, all over it. So I just thought I'll flick out a single imitation mixer, just leave it just to drift in, do as it pleases, just acts naturally. But yeah, not interested at all. So like I say, these two are already ready. It's about 8:30, so I'm just going to give them a good squirt of the hot chili oil. That's what done me the fish last time, done me the bites last time, with that squirted in the solid bags. And yeah, just going to lower them in just off the shelf where it sort of you know, drops off. Drop that down at the bottom of there, and yeah, hopefully those fish are going to be coming up and over, and hopefully through the hours of darkness or early morning I can nick myself another fish. So that's the thinking anyway. It's a nice warm evening, got the hood up, the mozzie's already on me, so yeah, fingers crossed. Feeling confident that the fish are still here, they're not pushed out, or you know, just that little bit of fishing on the top hasn't scared them off or anything, so they're happy here. Hopefully I can get these two out nicely, and yeah, the rest is down to the carp really. So let's get some oil squirted in these bags, and let's drop these out and see if we can nick ourselves a fish. After 1 AM, I don't know if you just heard that then, but there's some almighty thrashing to the reeds just down to my left hand side. It's been going for a good 10-15 minutes so far, as far as I've been hearing anyway, and it certainly woke me up. But yeah, I've just gone and stood down by the rods, and it's pretty apparent that the carp are having a good spawning session just down into those reeds in my left. So I've quickly just been down, just quickly whipped the rods in because yeah, it's not fair fishing for obviously fish that are you know, they're using a lot of energy, they're sort of, you know, in the zone doing their thing. And yeah, certainly kind of, like I say, not really fair fishing for fish that are you know, not really with it in mind wise when they've got, you know, that sort of thing. And you know, the whole, there you go, yeah, absolutely loads of splashing. You know, they've got that whole spawning and you know, mating thing on their mind. Like I say, it's not really fair fishing for fish when they're you know, currently in that state of mind and stuff like that. So I've just whipped both the rods in. It's too late to move anywhere. Don't really, you know, don't know where anybody else is currently, if and where they're set up, etc. So yeah, it kind of looks like it might have cut this session short, if I'm honest. What I'm going to do is, like I say, I've whipped the rods in already. Just going to get my head down now, really. I think, if I'm honest, try and blank out all this commotion and splashing down to my left, and just leave them to it. Wow, so you might wonder why I'm not waking up on the bank. Well, yeah, that spawning was getting well out of control. Like I said, they reel in sort of around 1 AM, and yeah, they were still at it, gone 3 o'clock in the morning, proper loud as well. You know, not just a little splash here and there, proper hammering those reeds. And yeah, obviously at the, you know, in the depth of night time, it's dead quiet. You could hear a pin drop, and yeah, I just couldn't get my head down, just couldn't sleep. So 3 o'clock, just decided to chuck everything in the back of the car and drive home. Like I say, it's only 15-20 minutes drive top, so got home just before 4 o'clock this morning. Managed to get my head down for, you know, 2.5 hours, and I'm back up now and I just walk zig. So we'll go again tonight. We'll get down to the other club lake, see if anything's going to happen there. But yeah, I'm going to leave that place alone now until like next week, maybe the week after, because obviously we've got bank holiday in between. So I've reported it to the club. I'll put it up on the club page just so got, you know, other anglers and stuff like that are aware. They were going, like I say, for a good couple of hours, and I don't know how much longer after I left as well. So I'll catch up with you a little bit later on after work. Go and get work done. Quite a busy day, and yeah, I'm not feeling the best, so I'm hoping a shower is going to sort me out. But yeah, but for now, I'll leave it there. Time to get freshened up. A bit of breakfast. because I forgot my water last night, so I hadn't even had a brew. And yeah, I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later on. Right, so not long finished work. It's an absolute glorious evening. Beautiful blue skies, roasting hot. I've come down to one of the other waters, one formerly known as Wick Water, now Franklin's, and it's pretty apparent that the fish are spawning in here as well. Even out in open water, there's been already, and I've only been here sort of 5 minutes or so. You know, there's quite a lot of thrashing around out there in open water. I try and flick the camera around, you can probably already see the rings and stuff like that. Loads of thrashing around out there. And that's been pretty much constant since I've been here for the last 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes. And I've also seen like a couple of fish just down, well, I've seen a handful of fish passing through in my margin, and yeah, it's pretty obvious that they're chasing each other, that sort of thing. Now I don't know if they've already spawned on here yet or not, but just from obviously that, you know, that what's going on out there is pretty obvious that they're having another go anyway. So I'm gonna probably do a lap of the lake anyway, you know, see what's going on up and down, see if it, you know, there might be a chance of nicking a fish or something, maybe stalking one off the top, something like that. I don't know. I've got real basic gear down there with me, bit of floater stuff, but the way they're zipping around at the moment, they generally aren't going to look like they're interested in a floater, to be quite honest with you. I'm not really comfortable fishing for them when they're like this, and like I said, I wouldn't mind, you know, them fighting another day. So I'm going to go and have a little look around anyway, see what's going on. But this area of the lake is pretty obvious that you know, they're having a good go. And I don't want to repeat it last night either. As you can tell from the bags under my eyes, I'm absolutely shattered anyway. But yeah, I don't want to set up camp somewhere and, you know, they all start kicking off in here again at God knows what time at night. So I'll leave it there for now. I'll go and have a little look around, and I'll catch up with you in a little while. Right, so back at the car. Made the decision not to fish basically, whereas others might be happy fishing, you know, on top of these fish that do look quite spawny. And like I say, from what I saw, there was that thrashing around out in open water. I'm not comfortable doing it, and that's just my own personal choice really. So I'm back in the car. I spent a good, I don't know, 2.5 hours walking around the rest of the lake, and I'm not seeing a single sign of, you know, any other fish activity whatsoever. It's funny because all the fish obviously, like, you know, down this end and on the surface, and you know, looking all sort of like spawny and chasing each other and stuff, and basically every single angler bar one is practically on this half of the lake, and that's just not for me, to be honest. Like I say, it's going to be a hot bank holiday weekend. I'll hopefully get it out of the way this weekend over the next few days, get all that spawning out of the way, and then in the middle of the next week I can get back down here, and yeah, hopefully they, like I say, they would have got it out of the way, had a little bit of time to recover, and fingers crossed we can try and start the little mini campaign back up again. So for now, I'm going to get myself off home, get some food, get all this lot unloaded out the car, and yeah, I guess just chill out for the next couple of nights really. Bit of a shame that obviously it's happened now, and you know, I've been out for a few weeks anyway with the car stuff and everything else, but that's just the way it is. But yeah, let's get ourselves off home, get some grub on the go, and I will catch up with you next week.